Now you guys may probably know that I've recently restored my BMW, and it was an exciting journey spanning across different experts across the industry. People like Adrian Mark, people like Darren Chang, Desmond, Mike Yap, one performance modifications, suspension tuning experts, detailing experts, and there's only one thing that all of them claims that is in common across the board. A good feel is one that cleans your engine so well that your engines get to perform in its optimum performance all the time. And just like how Shell V-Power is my unbeatable choice, these experts too believe in a feel that truly allows the engine to perform. Join me on this series and we go on a journey of listening to experts.
Hi guys, I'm here at Autodetailer with my really good friend Darren Chang. This is a fascinating place if you've never been here, right? It's Autodetailer down here at P2 Jaya 1, alright? You've been here for how many years? You've been here?
This will be our 14th year here.
14th year?
14th year here.
But you've been in the business for?
This year would be our 20th by the end of the year.
So for us car guys, this place is known as the Bat Cave.
Yes.
And he's also known as the Bin Diesel of Malaysia.
All family, right?
I don't know where to start, but probably when we're walking around, you guys will be able to see this wonderful place, this facility. And of course, maybe you can bring me around today.
We'll do that.
So we barged in today without him realizing that, you know, oh, bring out the Ferraris and all that, but we'll just, this is ongoing work.
Yeah.
All right.
There's the car that's never driven now, no time for.
This is the most beautiful Z4 in Malaysia, or probably one of the prettiest in the world. But it's not under sunlight now,
No,
though. You cannot
not under
see all
sunlight.
the stuff. Woo!
So we've got the RS6, we've got a few cars in there. We've got the GT2 Widowmaker, we've got the 991.2 GT3 RS here, 991.2 GT3, M5 V10, and we're still hanging on to our GTR project, engines coming in from abroad.
This is a C4S.
This is C4S, about to start restoration, yes. Yes. Yeah, so we've got a couple of cars that are in progress. We've got a Disco 2 here. Yeah, that's also in restoration progress, and this was the R8 that we finished up a couple of months back. It's got the rotiform wheels, repainted, the whole works. I'm gonna turn on the lights shortly, then you can see it a little better.
Nice.
Yeah. So these are the Porsche wheels in carbon black. Yeah.
For those of you who are just about watching, you thought like, oh, is this like a normal detailing place? When I know Darren, the industry hasn't adopted this detailing name yet, right?
Yes.
Nobody knows what it is. And for me, it means a different thing because he is one of the very few in the world that does things like dismantling the entire car and really cleaning up each nut and bolt, cable and everything, and he's able to put it back, restore. Basically, you help people restore their cars, right?
Yes, correct.
You can launch your own Singer if you want to, right?
That would be the dream one day.
Dream.
I think Singer is fantastic in what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're so far ahead of the rest in terms of their refinement and their engineering. That would be a dream, to build a car like them one day.
The machining and all that, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Yes. So this one?
Well, this is one of our 458 projects that we finished up. I think it has the PPF system on it for the last 7.5 years already.
Yeah.
So still like that from day one.
Wow.
She's just in for a bit of a cleanup. I think we're changing out some absorbers for this car, but she's still pristine. Yeah. It's got a custom leather work here. Six years back when we did the leathers.
Yeah.
So full Napa, Alcantara, custom stitching work here.
Basically, you can do anything here, right?
We try, yes, we try. And we've got a few hidden gems. We've got a GTV over there, and also an E55 and 2 of the Fiat Coupes.
Yep.
So,
Wow.
yeah. Monsters from the yesteryears. Yeah, you don't get these cars anymore.
Yeah, man.
V10 inside, V8 here. GTV over here.
How do you even source these?
Well, we have a team inside, so
Yep.
procurement is a different discipline by itself.
I remember that 355 that you were
Yes,
restoring.
correct.
The rear glass.
Yes,
and,
yeah.
Where the hell you find these things?
Well, I think some of the products took us about 8 to 9 months just coming from Italy.
Wow.
Yeah. This is one of our projects, a Boxster that we just, we're working on completing the car. A few more things to work on, but it was previously in agate grey and now it's been repainted to racing green metallic, so it's the first in the country in this color. It's a classic color, so it's not as outstanding and striking as most, but I think it'll be a color that will last.
Combination.
Yes, a
the
combination. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's an Urus there that's getting some work done. Yeah.
That M2's color is
Come,
nice.
I'll take you to have a look at it. Come.
Oh.
So this color is a very strong color. Color shifts are very apparent. Yeah. So we are finalizing the look before we decide on the colors for the wheels. As I said, the owner has not seen it yet. We're now looking at the combination to match the wheels. Yeah.
So the owners hasn't seen it yet. He leave it up to the hands of Darren. You know. I think in our country, in this industry, if you mention the name Darren Chang, people from this industry will know, you know, he's like the Sifu of Sifus in this thing.
We try our best.
See, this looks like a normal old C-Class.
Yeah.
It's actually a C36 AMG.
I think there's only 3 of these units in Malaysia right now, functioning ones. Yeah. This one took us a while. Started work during the pandemic, and we're still going through a few things on the insides, and we're almost done already. Fully repainted, detailed. We've done all our custom PPF, so there's no joints, no exposed edges. Yeah, so it gets a full factory finish.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely, lovely.
Well, since you're looking at the Mercs, here's a CSL. Yeah. Yeah, this is the one everyone loves.
CSL.
Yeah. So we did a full restoration for this car, and yeah, this car is special. The sound, the way it drives, it's very unusual. The scream from this particular engine is just really astounding. They've got everything all in carbon fiber, right? Yeah. Color is unique as well. This is Sebring silver, so it's very unique to the CSL.
You know, we're not so lucky today. Sometimes when I come here, I'll be able to see some supercars stripped down to bare bones, and then with the stuffs laid out, and then his stuff's doing the cleaning and all that, right? It's a sight to behold.
That one's just put back together. Yeah,
The
that
right?
was all stripped out.
It was all stripped out, right?
Yeah, fully, right down to the shell.
Yeah.
If you look at the wheel wells, all these have been dry ice blasted already. So you can see where all the restoration work, you can see right inside, the interior, all the bits inside, the piping, the control arms.
You use dry ice right
yes,
now,
we use dry ice
It's a
blasting.
godsend, this
yes,
thing.
It is.
This thing is a godsend.
It works well, it's also eco-friendly, but you need really high power compressors to go. 20 horsepower and above, so we have them, yeah.
And Darren is the guy that a lot of us go to, because it's not just about cleaning, polishing and all this. Sometimes when my mechanics couldn't solve certain issues, then I will come to him, because he has great mechanical knowledge as well. One example, remember the Brembos?
Yes.
My Brembo disc was having this noise that even when I brought the car to a Brembo expert, the guy just said, you buy one set, you know. But at the end, I came to Darren. He has great mechanical knowledge because he has been doing this for so long. And he was the one, and I learned that word, you know, Bobby. Change the bobbins. I said, what? Bobbins? I've never heard of this.
That was Kenji. So he's lead technical, and after doing a lot of R&D work and checking, troubleshooting, he found out it was the bobbins. Yeah.
Wow, amazing. And then we solved the noise issue. Oh, 993.
Yeah, so this is the 993 Turbo. We finished this actually about 2 years back, and she's just back in for a little bit of a clean up. One of the rare ones.
Wow. Wow, the size, I like the size.
Correct. I think for the 993 era, this is very special. Having driven the Carreras, the standard ones, the amount of power this one pulls, right? When the turbo spool kicks in, it really gives you the thrill factor.
Crazy.
I mean, if you're talking about market value, it's pretty much on par with what a 991.2 would be now. At least hovering at the million ringgit mark. Yeah. You won't find another car that holds its value this well.
Yeah.
So this is one of our challenges also with the team. When we finished painting and detail, we needed to wrap the whale tail, so we did the whole top section in one piece. This is one piece, yeah. So with all the curvature, yeah.
He's also one of the only one where he does PPF wrapping, but you can't see the cut lines and all that.
Fully custom.
He insists on one piece wrapping, so you can't see where it goes. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Wow, this one
Yeah, that's the owner's name.
still beautiful.
Yes. Actually, every owner that I know that sold this off always regretted it. After a while, they started looking back for an E92 again.
Yeah, man.
The sound, the V8 sound.
The sound,
Yeah.
the looks,
Correct.
the 3-liter turbo.
Well, I think in terms of taking care of cars, my parents, my mom and dad, when I was really young, they were very encouraging. So encouraging as in my dad used to have Auto Glim products, right? So he gave it to me and taught me how to do the usual washing, waxing, a bit of polishing work. So I think that sort of sparked some interest in me. So that started my interest, and when I was in college, my dad bought a 1972 Volkswagen Beetle from a church friend, and that started off the dependency on workshops.
Okay.
I was there almost every week, trying to keep the car running. But it was, to me, it was the most special Volkswagen I have had, or best car I could have had. I would wax it every week. It was shiny, didn't have any aircon, but I loved it. It was my own. Then I started working. I was in Standard Chartered for a very short period of time. My dad said, hey, do you want to pursue something that you are very interested in? I said, what would that be? He says, you like to take care of cars, why don't you look into something like that? Maybe do something home-based. I said,
Really?
Okay. Yeah.
Your father?
Yeah.
Here we have a Chinese guy
Yes.
working in a bank,
Yes.
and the father asks him, hey, have you thought about doing car wash?
That's the line I always use at all our alumni gatherings, right? So every time there's a LaSalle gathering, hey, there's a doctor here, engineer. Everyone's all up there on the podium of, in terms of being well known, right? And when it comes to, what do you do? I say, I wash cars.
Hey, but hey, your father really, I respect him.
Yeah. So he funded me after I left the bank, and that's how the story started.
Where's the first location?
We were in Glad Tidings Church in the basement. That was what we could afford. A small little place. I think it was about 3,500 square feet, 4,000 square feet, and we had to work through. We worked 7 days a week for at least the first year and a half, 2 years. And then I went to 6-day week. 6-day week was a celebration already, 6 days a week. After the first year, word got out about some of our detailing works, and we had our first Ferrari. We started working on different ones, and I think from then till now, one of the things that I'm really proud to say and very happy with the team and everyone that's contributed here is we really grow by word of mouth. We're not big on ad spends and stuff and everything else, but I think our referrals are strong. So that started off our journey, and we started off just detailing cars. My wife, of course, she takes care of all our finance and administrative concerns, but she also started off as a detailer as well. So we learned the ropes together. Yeah, Wen can polish cars. After we were there in Glad Tidings for about 5.5 years, it was constantly, because we didn't have a proper covered indoor. We're covered under the basement, but we didn't have our own secure facility. So I started, because I'm OCD in nature, I'm one of those guys who, I need to walk around the place 3 times to make sure that the place is properly locked, right? So it drove me nuts after a while. And we wanted a place where you could put more cars. So Lotus Reza, he recommended us to come here. And that's how the conversation started. So we negotiated our place, and we thought, what the heck, let's pool some of the money in together and build up this whole place. So this is from essentially what was car park space. We built a studio, all the different offices, the different sections of where we could work, and we launched a refreshed Autodetailer, and we call it Autodetailer Studio. I think it was the first of its kind, at least in Malaysia, where we had everything with all the hoist, and I think everyone who's been here, they know our trademark. We're quite particular about cleanliness and hygiene as well. So you'll see the floors are mopped several times a day. So we had the flooring all done. The flooring's flame retardant, by the way. So if the car burns, it burns in one spot, it doesn't spread out.
Nice.
So that's basically the story of how we started. Yeah.
In terms of, you were saying word of mouth, like, it spread. I remember someone told me that you have clients that send in their cars from other countries as well, right?
Yeah, we had some that were sent in from Hong Kong, also through word of mouth, and we've had cars from Australia as well. So from different sections, and we had quite I would say a fairly sizable following from Singapore, but that was all before the pandemic. The pandemic sort of dried up that portion for a while because people couldn't travel, but we're starting to get the Singapore cars coming in again already as well.
Hey, Singaporeans, come lah.
Okay, so we have two categories of clients. Clients who buy the latest and greatest, all the new cars. So those come in for relatively more aesthetic and protection work. Then we've got those that are either pre-owned. So a lot of them, and the pandemic has been one example of that, where everyone's bought a V8, V10, V12 because
for restoration.
Because the EVs are coming. Everyone knew they were coming, and if you go to Muda right now, anywhere, you don't find them anymore. It's almost a rarity, And a lot of our clients started buying them and keeping them, and we started restoring more and more of these. For the most part, the interest in having the preservation of the culture, the history, drives what our clients want to buy. So when they buy these cars, they're not necessarily in the best condition. And even though we've had, like, for example, the 993 that we showed you earlier, that came with full service records, stacks of it, and it's done everything you could possibly do. But when we started working on it, we had to rework a lot of other things as well. So that's usually my story to people who want to buy a car, especially if you want to make sure that you have something that lasts. Is you need to research a little bit into it and try and have at least the same amount that you bought for the car for whatever restoration work you have in the future, because it does add up over time. For me, I don't see myself buying a new car at the moment still, because I enjoy the process of taking a car from where it is, whether it's been completely trashed or even fairly well maintained, to bring it to that level of perfection. It's a nice journey of perfection.
For my case, some people ask me, "Hey, you didn't do a thorough check." What's there to check? It's the only one available in the market. So I got a question to ask. I mean, I haven't even really driven my Porsche. So certain engines, they are notorious for carbon buildup at certain places, right? So what can you tell me about 996? Is there like carbon buildup issues?
I think the first things that a lot of people should do, from our experience, especially with dyno machines, is actually to consider doing some dyno runs on the car.
Okay. See how healthy is the engine?
Yes. That way, the engineer can start drawing some basic parallels and conclusions into where the power band issues are, why is it getting stuck in certain areas. And again, the first aim is to actually fix and restore. Don't jump into the modification stage yet, because if your internals aren't proper, you will suffer issues later on. You're just expediting that process before it explodes, right? So I'd always recommend doing things like a basic dyno run, and later do all your compression tests. All these things. These are pretty much stuff that will help you build a better idea into it. We could share with you what we've learned on each of the cars, but unfortunately, the truth of the matter is every car, under every user, under every situation, differs. We've never had a car that comes in even if it's a 8-year-old car or a 18-year-old car, right?
Yeah.
That is exactly the same for a car of the same vintage from that era, from a different owner.
Yeah, yeah.
They're so different. Some people completely take care of their cars. They're, it's no expense. Whatever needs to be done. Some owners are like, if I'm dropping the engine, what else do I need to drop and fix one shot?
Yeah.
Well, some will be just, I'll just patch this and fix this first until something pops up, right? So the rationale behind that changes and affects how a car runs.
Very true. That time I brought my BMW to KL Auto.
Yeah.
He was like, hey, I do the hydrogen cleaning for you.
Yeah.
I put a tissue behind, later you see all the soot come
Yeah.
out. So he was like waiting, after running, then I said,
Yeah.
okay, rev.
Yeah.
There's only a few spots.
Yes.
Then he was like, you use V-Power Racing all the time. And I was like, yeah. So that
Yes.
it's important, right?
Yes.
To clean up the
Yes.
the inside.
So things like being able to do the carbon buildup removal and things like that. I think these are very basic stuff that you can start off with.
Yeah.
For a lot of times, you throw one of these darts there, right? It'll hit the spot and it will clear. So it solves that particular issue there.
Yeah.
But inside a car, we don't even look at just one section. You look at even like your aircon compressor, see how is it running, because truth of the matter is nobody bothers to service the air cons after a while, you know. After your warranty is over, you're actually supposed to do an annual service.
They
Most
also
people
don't know-
miss out, they don't bother.
They don't know aircon compressor oil.
No one
can
knows
be
about that
changed,
until the whole thing conks out, right? So we've got owners, or even some of them with car batteries that are always with a C-Tech charger and trickle charge, right? And they keep their batteries for 6 to 8 years, whereas some new ones, 1.5 years and the battery dies.
Yeah.
It's really down to the maintenance as well.
True.
So, like for you, every one of your cars that you've bought, right? And they're not new, they're all of different age and vintages, has been a journey for you.
Yeah.
But what you have gained is you know what to do and what not to do for each of them.
Yeah,
And that's your own story, right?
Yeah.
So that's I think what defines us, you know.
I don't
jumping-
skip on mechanical stuff.
Yes.
I skip on aesthetic stuff,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah.
I can tahan dirty cars. And then of course I want to make sure combustion chamber, how the fuel
Yes.
cleans up
Yeah.
with the cleaning agent,
Yeah.
that is important for
Actually,
me.
any car that comes in, say for example, like you picked up your 996, and if you come up to us as a walk-in and say, hey, I've got this car, I want to fix it up, I want to paint the car, I want to fix up all these leather issues and all that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, those are stuff we do, like it's our bread and butter. We do it very well, I must say.
Yeah.
But the first question I would always ask, and any of our team leads will do the same thing, and our specialists as well, is how's your car running mechanically?
Yeah.
We always aim to advise you to fix that first, because you don't want a car that's been perfectly restored to factory finishes to go in and out of the workshop multiple rounds.
Bumper out, in,
Yes, bumper out, in,
right?
clips go missing.
Yeah.
We spend a lot of time installing stuff. Like a lot of people ask, how is it that you don't have the issues with noise and all that? I said, well, we spend a lot of time making sure that we itemize everything. We've got specialists that all their job is in our place here. It's just marking where these parts go, how many pieces, and what needs to be ordered. Yeah.
Your workflow is amazing.
It's
for the past 10 years that I come visit him, right? It's always full of cars, okay? Busy, people a lot, but you don't see people running around, rushing around. No, it's just quiet, smooth, calm, almost zen, zen-like. The way you all work here, right? That's quite amazing. Right?
I think it boils down to responsibilities of all our guys. We've taught them a system, and keeping all these things in check. All our team leads. I mean, every time we have a car, they go under project heads, and the project heads are under a team lead. And we start tracing back. For example, we start dismantling the parts. Oh, okay, this bumper clip we need to replace. For example, if we wrapped a PPF, a BMW X5, the external wheel guards, right? The clips on them are single use. So it's quite simple. Before we start, we already reordered them already. We have them replaced. So once we remove and we fit them back in, they're perfect. But a lot of times there's this habit of trying to just reuse something and save on that little bit there, and it causes issues.
See, that's experience. It's single use. He ordered a set, remove, and then immediately got another set.
Correct.
But for other places that are not so experienced, that guy would have thought I broke it.
Yes.
And he used that that dreaded
silicone,
black
or yes, there's
glue.
windshield silicone.
And then when the
We
glue
love that.
hardens,
Yes.
oh my god,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, if it's just a couple of clips, the client is more than happy to pay for them because
Right.
peace of mind. Yeah.
Exactly. So the best of care for your car, exterior and all that, you can ask him. And as for my own regime, I'm not someone who's too OCD with exterior, but then I make sure I pump the fuel that can clean my engine really, really well. I'm sure I'm not doing something wrong.
Yeah. Yes.
Making sure the combustion chamber is clean, so the car breathes healthily, and
Good fuel is actually paramount. Yeah, and also another tip for people who have a number of cars at home, don't do full tanks if you're not using the car. Try and maintain it at a quarter. So that when you do your uluyam drives or your venting, fresh fuel is always best. Burn out the remaining, go fresh. Yeah, that works well. Don't keep that whole thing. You get sediments and yeah.
I just learned this. I know fuel will get stale.
Yes.
But this is like, so if you have cars that you have multiple cars, don't keep them full tank and just leave it there.
Yes.
See, we learned something again. All right. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll put all the links. Please follow Darren. Follow their Facebook, IG, or YouTube. Are you guys already on TikTok dancing and all that?
Starting, but not the dancing bit.
Wants to watch Vin Diesel dancing. All right. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Cheers, guys.